Hey everyone, it's Jeannie with Talk to Me Tuesday. It is July the 23rd. I finally got my star quilt done. It is completely done and hung up on the wall. I finished it up a couple of weeks ago, got it into a flimsy, and I looked at it for a while, was deciding on the backing fabric, and I just, you know what, I'm going to go with purple, just a really pretty purple, and I finished it up. I had never used a walking foot when quilting, so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. It was a good quilt to try it out on. I ended up going just straight down each individual line, and then that's all of the quilting that I've done on the stars, because I really didn't want to distort my stars. So I just done straight lines through all of them seams, and then in these little corners here, these little squares, and these little pieces right here, I tried to video it several times and it just isn't showing up on the camera, but this is basically what I did to the stars. Man, that's bright. Okay, so just lines on the stars, but on the bigger squares, on the this thing on the bigger squares, I've done three squares inside, and then on the small ones, I just did one small one on the inside. Now, it was extremely time consuming. Um, I had never done that before, so it ended up being really time consuming. Also, I had my little handy dandy chalk to mark my lines, and I couldn't find the pen that the chalk goes with, so I was trying to mark out a whole entire section and then, do that whole section. Well, then by the time I got to the last few pieces of that section, my chalk was gone. So I ended up marking like 3 blocks at a time, and I just used my ruler. I just put tape where I wanted it, and then of course, uh, like so. Um, I worked on it all day Saturday, about 12 hours straight. I shouldn't have done it, but when I really started feeling like that was a mistake, I need to get it done. So I couldn't find my pen, and so these kept breaking, but I just kept doing it. I would mark 2 or 3 at a time, sew it, 2 or 3 at a time. That was pretty much my whole entire day Saturday. Sunday, after it was completely done, washed, dried, and hung up, I was looking for something else, and guess what I found? I found my pen. So now I'm putting the two together. I have the chalk pieces in a little, this is a gum, a little where I had gotten some gum. The chalk fits perfectly in there. So I have my chalk in here, and I am putting my pen, of course the pen won't fit in there, but I'm putting them together so that if I find my chalk, find that. I am super happy that it's done. I've got some pretty major flaws in it. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I love the quilt, and it is hanging up behind me, and that's where it's going to stay, at least for now. There's no quilting police here, so um, uh, I'm perfectly happy with all of my points not meeting up. If you see some of these, not so bad. That's not too bad, but there's some areas where over here, I mean, it's pretty bad off over there, but I love it, and with it sitting right behind me as I come through my kitchen into my living room, this thing right here it just pops. It looks absolutely excellent. I'm happy that it's done. I'm sure that y'all are happy that it's done, because that means that I won't be talking about my stars anymore, at least on a very small scale compared to what I have been doing for the last 7 months. But anyways, I also worked on another project Sunday and Monday, and I will show that to you now. Okay, y'all, this is the view from my sewing machine. This is where I sit most of the time, most of my evenings. This right here is a little caddy. It's actually meant for like a couch, for remote controls and I guess newspaper or magazines or whatever. I actually use it for, like my pens and extra scissors and my glue sticks and that sort of thing. And then I use this big pocket right here to throw my scraps in as I go. And then up underneath here, I use my, I have my oils and my sprays and, that sort of thing. I have a bath mat right there at the floor for my foot pedal, and it does pretty good job of keeping my pedal where it belongs. Every now and then I have to like move it back over, but for the most part it does kind of help keep it stabilized. And then as I move around, you see how it's attached right here. This, if I wanted to close this up, I could close it in and it would cover this whole section, but I keep it open all the time. And anyways, this is my little cabinet right here that I use, that I have all my paper piecing in. My paper piecing fabric in. I used to keep it behind me when I was over in the other room, and it was, well, I can't do that here. I just don't have room behind me. All my extra space is actually beside me. So I went and I grabbed one of these three drawer bins that they have them over at Walmart. I guess Dollar General. But anyways, and it fits just perfectly in this little cubby right here. And I put all my paper piecing fabric in there. Of course, I keep my background fabric usually sitting right up on top and I'm working on a couple of different projects. So right now I have a couple of different background fabrics going on. I do have a tendency to overuse starch whenever I'm paper piecing, so I keep my iron cleaner handy because of that. And then if you look over here in the little corner, you'll see a whole bunch of washcloths. And I keep them there specifically to keep my iron clean because of the fact that I use a whole bunch of starch. Now this right here is really nice. I really like it there. It's very convenient. I'm sitting here sewing. I can just reach over and when I need a specific color. Plus I have my little ironing table right there, and so it's very convenient when I am paper piecing. I used to have all of my fabrics for paper piecing in these bags. These are document holders. It's plastic, and I really liked them because they were heavier than Ziploc bags. They also had this little zipper on them, it worked out just fine in my old location, but they don't necessarily fit in my bin right there. So, on occasion, I have had them split a little bit right here. That never really bothered me because of, it was just for scrap fabric anyways. But if you look, they're huge, and they just didn't fit in there properly. So, the Queen, I noticed that she had made some bins that I just absolutely loved. And then Jennifer turned around and she made the little cozy for her mug. And I thought, why not? I can make my own containers for my scrap fabric, So that's what I did. And I've been working on that the last couple of days. And this is what I have. So I made these little I actually used these right here. I had them, so I just cut them up. I made the lining for them, and then I used my scrap fabric to make the little the little pouches. And then I color coded it. So I have red, and then I have my purple, and then I have my dark blue and light blue. And down here I have, it's been low, but I have my yellows. That right there is gold. It's a metallic gold. My orange, and then of course my green. And then I have my tans, my browns, and my silvers and blacks. Now I'm probably going to be making another one for my silver and grays and remove them, because I do have a lot of black fabric. And I think it'd just be really cool to, go ahead and separate them too. I still have a couple left to do, my whites, and let's see, I still have whites. I'm going to make that one for silver, and I'm probably going to be separating this green. But they're not, they're not getting hung up. They're sliding really easy. Before, I'd have to tuck all of them down, and now they're going in there really well. All of this most of this fabric's been used on other projects. That's some backing from the Hocus Pocus Quilt Along. This is actually from the Hocus Pocus Quilt Along. A lot of this purple is. And I've been using this on a current project. Some of these reds. And this right here is from the Star Quilt. A lot of this right here is from that. And so is that. So, anyways, I have some pictures of it from before, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. So that's what I've had going on this week, and I'm hoping y'all had an absolutely wonderfully crafty week, and I look forward to watching everyone's videos, and I will see y'all next week.